Hey there, Bio20s. I have another lesson for you today on photosynthesis. So here we are in our photosynthesis notes guide. And you'll remember in our last two videos, we have talked about the overall equation for photosynthesis, which you need to memorize. And we have talked about the two stages of photosynthesis, the light-dependent reactions occurring in the thylakoids and the light-independent reactions occurring out in the stroma. And another name for that, of course, is the Kelvin cycle, or you might even see it the Kelvin-Benson cycle. So we have also talked a little bit about the pigments, and we are talking about, of course, what's happening in a leaf. So if you want to think about, here we are in a leaf, and we're going to zoom in to a leaf, a plant cell. And remember that plant cells are square, they have nucleus and giant central vacuole, but it's the chloroplast that we're interested in. So we're going to zoom into and take a look now at the chloroplast. Remember, it has a double membrane, it has the stroma, that's where the light-independent reactions are occurring, the jelly-like part. And then these little stacks, these are called the thylakoids. And these thylakoids is the business end of where the actual light-dependent reactions are happening. Okay, so like a little stack of pancakes, the entire stack is called a granum, the individual is a thylakoid. So here we are in the thylakoid membrane. Okay, so just the membrane here, not the inside of it, but the actual membrane. And so in the membrane, we have these photosystems, photosystem 2 and photosystem 1. And these photosystems, these little round circly things, this is the business end of a chloroplast in the thylakoid membrane. These little circly things are chlorophyll molecules. Remember, we said that is a pigment that is found in plants that is stimulated by sunlight. Okay, so back to our photosynthesis notes guide, and you can see that here are these two photosystems, and again they are stimulated by sunlight. So here is the sunlight, and photons of light come along from the sun, and it's going to stimulate the little molecules of chlorophyll in the photosystems. So when the molecule of chlorophyll is stimulated by a photon of light, gets raised up to a higher energy, does this little electron from a chlorophyll molecule. So now this electron has all this energy, and it's passed through some electron transporters in the membrane of the thylakoid. And then another photon of light comes along, and it strikes the next photosystem. Notice they have these numbered in the wrong order. That's because they found photosystem 1 first before they realized, oh, there's another photosystem, it's photosystem 2. But in reality, photosystem 2 is stimulated first, and then photosystem 1 is stimulated by photons of light. Another electron is excited from being stimulated, and so this electron from chlorophyll is raised up to a higher energy level, passed by a series of oxidation and reduction reactions. Remember, you're losing electrons, you're getting oxidized, you're gaining electrons, you're getting reduced. So this electron transport system in the thylakoid membrane sends the electrons to this final electron acceptor. This final electron acceptor, his name is NADP+. Think of it, P for photosynthesis. Okay, so this is the final electron acceptor of photosynthesis. So when he gains these energetic electrons, then he gets reduced. And so not only does he gain electrons, but he makes this high energy molecule, NADPH, who's now going to head out to the stroma, and this high energy molecule is now going to power the light independent, the Kelvin cycle reactions to make sugar. So now you might be asking yourself, What's happened here was this chlorophyll molecule, and when the photon of light stimulated it, an electron left it. So now it's got a big old hole in the middle of it. So where do we get the electron to replace it from? Well, we get it by splitting water. So remember that water was one of the reactants of photosynthesis. And when sunlight comes along and splits it by the process of photolysis, think about it. Photo is light. Lysis means to split apart or to break apart. So the light is causing the water to split. It makes hydrogen ions building up inside the thylakoid space, not in the membrane, but in the space inside of the pancake, the gooey center part. And the electron that is produced by water splitting replaces the electron in photosystem 2. And then in photosystem 1, it's the electron from photosystem 2 that replaces him. And now finally, we are seeing another product. Remember the overall reaction? I said that water is going to be oxidized. It loses electrons. Sure enough, here it's losing electrons to make oxygen. So here's another very important product of photosynthesis, and that is oxygen.